My talk is in 3 parts. The first part is I'm going to go through each of these and give you real-world tips that you can implement that are low-tech, and you don't need to be a programmer for, to optimize your site for this. All these
I'm also going
sources
to show you what can happen once they get to your website, how to optimize that, how to keep people on your website, how to get people to buy something.
The next way that people can get on your site is organic search. Organic search versus paid search. So in other words, people are searching for something, and in your Google Analytics, it will say it came from organic search. The keyword was being website. So what can happen once they get to your website? They can drop off. In other words, people come to your website, maybe it doesn't have the information they're looking for, maybe it's the wrong website, maybe it's not compelling, you've got no call to action, they go away, they go back to Google and search for something else.
Say you have a HVAC business, right? So somebody puts in HVAC repair at the moment. You're going to get a bunch of results, 10 results on the first page of Google. Those results are the organic results. It's on top of it, ads on the bottom. The ads are people paying to be on that page. That's not an organic result. Organic result is your website where you're not paying a dime to Google, but Google deems your
This is
website.
the lowest hanging fruit. The first lowest hanging fruit is
Claim your Google Places page. All you do is go to google.com/places and you claim your page. Google provides it for you. They wanted to make it as convenient as possible for people to contact relevant local business. Unique IP address. Now, this is going to sound technical, but it's really very simple. When you have your website hosted, typically it's hosted on a shared server. It means there's 1,000 other websites, hundreds of other websites in the same IP location as your website. Now the problem is, when Google looks at your IP address and they see, joeswebsite.com, they might also see Jack's gambling site or Phil's porn site. That decreases the authority of your website in Google. You can buy a unique IP so they rank you higher. This is all referral traffic. And by the way, when it comes to search engine optimization, this is all you need to worry about. When it comes to search engine optimization, these are the other thing that they're looking at that is highly important is the quantity and quality of your content. So, the average page that ranks #1 on Google has 2,800 words. Put your website in your signature. Some people that you send your email to will click on it. There's 2 things it'll do. First, it'll get you traffic on your website. The other thing is, Google actually looks at that. Like if you have a Gmail address and your website is on there, that is a ranking look at what visitors do when they get to your website. Right? So the thing that they tend to do the most for most websites, more than half, drop off. What can you do to get people to do something? So your main task on your website should be to get people to do something. The entire website should be directed at getting them to take an action. This is very important. A lot of websites just don't have any call to action. Any relevant information that you want to have about your business needs to be on the home page and above the fold so that people don't have to scroll down. Talked about all the ways to optimize it, right? But where are people coming from on your website right now? But I wanted to show you overall, the four things going into your website, how you can find out what's happening today and learn what the opportunities are. So when you first go into Google Analytics, this is kind of what you see. It gives you a date. In this case, it usually just goes back 1 month, but you can change it to whatever you want to see. And Google will present you with this page, kind of gives you the trend over the month. It gives you some stats up here. So it shows you sessions, users, and page views. They had 4,000 unique visitors with 4,900 sessions, and all these users saw about 10,000 pages. That's a fairly good traffic for
Think of
local
this
business.
as
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're one user, you're having breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Each of those is a session. Now in breakfast you might have eggs, milk, cereal. So you had 3 things for breakfast. those would be your page views. Altogether, the total number of page views would be 3 during breakfast, 4 for lunch, 3 for dinner, 10 page views. You have 3 sessions. And you're one user. Page views is just the number of pages that you saw on that. And let's look at the traffic source. You can see where they. So that's kind of a neat thing to be able to see people live. So on their page search, they're getting 70% bounce. That's relatively high for paid search because paid search usually, people when click on it, they're looking for something. You want to keep that below 50%. See that the organic search results, they're getting a bounce rate which is lower. So direct traffic, a lot of bounces from the direct traffic. So this tells me that, they're typing in the name, but they were really looking for something else. So let's look at that and get into, a little more granularity if you click on it. I had a bunch of referrals from July 1 to September. So let's look at organic search. Now this will tell you what keywords this website is ranking for. The reason it says not provided is because there are some new standards that Google has adopted for security. So, more and more sites today have an extra layer of security that keeps Google Analytics from analyzing the data that you would otherwise be getting. You didn't have this many not provided and not set a year ago. But I'm finding now that there's a lot of this, and it has to do with the security settings on websites and Google not wanting to invade people's privacy. Some of the information that you don't see here, you may see in Google Webmaster. The other thing that I want to show you is behavior. So you can find out what people are doing once they get to your website. So out of the total number of page views, 114,000 page views, 71% bounce rate, average time that people are spending on the site is 1:38. Those are not bad numbers, highly visited. Let's look at their website and see if for some reason more people tend to go over here.